Hello everybody, thanks for joining us on this very first webinar of the series. So my name is Fabienne Wintle and I will be taking you through this first webinar. So I'm normally used to doing online training sessions with people in front of me, so I'll find it a little bit scary that I can't see you. So what I'll get you to do is actually use your hands up and down to ask questions, or actually put your hand up if you have any question or any issue, or I will get you to use the Q&A, but I'll take you through all that. So first and foremost, I'll get you to follow all these points. We're recording this presentation and Cassie from Fraser Coast will send you a link to share it on your website. As I said, ask questions with the Q&A and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation. So I'm going to talk for about 45 minutes. And after, I'll be able to answer your questions. You move your mouse around to find the menu with the functions, and there'll be a survey at the end. Hopefully it's not too noisy with this noise in the background. I'll just take this off and I'll have a quick chat to you. Can you all hear me fine? Just let me know via the chat. Otherwise, what I might do, if there is too much background noise, is I make good. All right, all good, everyone's saying. Thank you so much. All right. I'm a bit scared if I can't see you talk. No worries, I'll go back to share my screen. Excellent. So, full screen mode. All right, now I've got your Q&A on the side, so we're all sorted. So hopefully you've all got your action plan that I have emailed. Basically, this is just a one-pager. If someone doesn't have it, just start taking notes based on what you see on the actions that you think you should be completing. But I had prepared a nice little action plan document. So at this stage, all I can see is just your Q&A and I can't see the chat. So if you need to talk to me urgently, just utilize the Q&A functionality so this pops in on my screen. All right, so the aim of this series of webinars really to help you increase your digital capability. So we'll be covering things from digital strategy, online reputation, content marketing, social media, and all that stuff. And at the end, you'll have a workshop where you're going to be able to develop your own digital action plan. Apologies, there we go. So we'll also be discussing all the elements of this digital marketing strategy, and you'll see we'll touch on some of them today, but this is quite a nice way to actually view your digital strategy. It's got content, which is the #1 thing that you actually need to do to attract search engines to your site. Managing your online reputation is what is a little bit more fun and takes a bit less time to do than thinking about how to create content. Social media, most of you have got that pretty right. Email marketing is one that I find that many tourism businesses aren't leveraging as best as they could. So we'll be talking about that in another series. And then measuring and tracking, that's all about your Google Analytics and being able to interpret who comes to your site, but who also converts into a booking. All right. Each webinar will be 45 minutes. As I said, I'll take your questions at the end. We've talked about the workshop and you will be able to access your free Tourism Tribe membership as part of this coaching series. So when we developed Tourism Tribe, I always told my business partner that it's a bit like Weight Watchers. You know, if you go to one meeting, if you just meet a nutritionist once and you want to lose weight or be a bit healthier, you get really excited the first time, but as time goes on and you're on your own, you may lose interest. So Tourism Tribe is basically your companion site for anyone in the business of tourism to be able to network with other peers, so other tourism businesses from around the world, access to tutorials as well as support forums. So literally, I had the case with an operator I was training this morning. They didn't have an online booking system and they were looking at different options. They didn't know what was best for a 4-bedroom B&B, and she went on Tourism Tribe, and the first support forum that someone else had asked from Southern Queensland was about what's the best booking system for B&B. So she's been able to actually read this question and learn from others. So To claim your membership, all you will have to do is sign up for Tourism Tribe. On the first, when you go to Tourism Tribe Join, there will be a first membership package called the Starter Membership, and then you'll be able to enter the discount code called TTWKSP. So I'll get you to write this one down. You don't have to sign up now, but hopefully by the end of today, we'll have all of you on board. So that, that coupon will reduce the price to 0 and will automatically create your membership to Tourism Tribe. All right, to help you apply the learnings that will improve, we really encourage you to attend each webinar. You'll also receive a certificate of completion and you'll be able to download a copy of these slides. But as I said, just jot down these key points. It's really up to you to learn as much as you want or not. It's quite detailed. I'll try and use some really good examples that can resonate with you. And at the end of the workshop, you really will have a digital strategy. A digital strategy can be a scary word, but I like to call it a plan or plan, you know, segmented by, let's say, 2 weeks of what needs to be done in the business based on what you've learned, but based on what's happening in your business as well, and based on the stats that you will see in your Google Analytics. All right, so let's start looking at the 5 stages of travel. It's really important when you develop any marketing plan that you actually look at the consumer and what is happening with the consumer. So it's really not a linear model anymore, and it's a dynamic model where people navigate through the different stages. So I'll take you quickly through these stages. We have the dream stage, so where people start dreaming about their next holiday, and then they start being a bit more active in their plan. Then obviously book, and that's where you're going to shine. You're going to deliver them a fantastic experience. But the beauty of social media is that it actually allows you to turn your guests into an advocate. An example of that would be your guests going to leave reviews on TripAdvisor. Oh. Are you still here? It told me I was logged out for a reason. My goodness, let's see. I'm still. You are all still here. Fabulous. So this, the system just told me I got logged out, but I'll keep on talking because you're all here and ready to go. Very random. Apologies about that. There we go. So the other example would be in your region or even at your business, you may be using a hashtag. So when people take photos, it's a really great idea to let them know of the regional hashtag. So where I live in Agnes Water, we have Visit Agnes 1770, and that hashtag is written on Instaflags. So that allows us to leverage of the photos and videos that travellers to the regions take and utilise that to market our own region. So that's all about the advocate stage. I'll just check if I have my other notes there. All good, I've told you everything I had planned. So let's look at your target customer and their purchase journey. So it's really important for you and your team to understand how your potential target market will purchase travel. So I'll give you an example, and maybe you actually know these 2 people because they are from Hervey Bay. I'm pretty sure that John also used to work at the local tourism organisation down there a few years ago. They actually happened to be my friend's parents. So these guys, they are just caravanning around Australia all the time. They take long and short holidays and they stay off the main highways. They plan their trip before they go and they use the RACQ website, YouTube and Camp7. So we know this because we've literally asked them. So it's a good idea to make a note now and to look at your target customer and possibly people that walk in your office over the next week and ask them simply, how did you plan to come to our region? How did you choose our business? And make these notes. Then you're actually starting to build a profile of your target market. They put destinations on their plans based on visiting friends and family as well as at their recommendation. They rely on Wikicamp for traveller advice, very up to the minute detailed info about camping places and local services. Now that's an interesting one. While they're traveling, they spend the same amount of money as they do at home on food, coffee, eating out, clothes, entertainment, gift cards, and maintenance. They travel with the iPad and their iPhone on a really good Telstra account. So despite they're traveling, they've got access to all the tools that they need to make educated travel decisions. When they're heading into town, they use Google search to find shops and supplies. Some towns are pretty useless, they say. Now, here's a little question for everyone. And I actually managed to put the chat on my screen. So does anyone know how to capture these local searches that they are doing? What Google tool do you need to be listed on so that you can appear on these local searches? There's nothing, I can't throw a lolly or anything at you. Does anyone have any idea? It's time to chat and type it in the chat. A map? Yep, possibly. In the old days, it used to be called No, Not AdWords. Any taker? Google Maps. In the old days, you actually used to have a listing on Google Maps, but they've now rebranded that, and you have to access that through another account. It's called Google My Business. No one got it. Good thing I didn't throw any lollies. So Google My Business is your account that will allow you to rank with your photo, you know, on where the map appears at the very top. So if someone searches for accommodation Hervey Bay and you do that on your phone or on your screen, the first 3 results after the ads are really a picture of your business with the little stars, you know, the 5 stars, 3 stars, and where people can leave you Google reviews. So this is called Google My Business. That's why it's really important to take advantage of that listing. What do they say? When they're on the road, they meet new people every day. So they really focus on the recommendations and word of mouth from people. They also use the visitor information centre a lot. Look for information that there is to do into town. So if you're not going to the visitor information centre and briefing the staff about new things that have happened in your business, I strongly recommend you do, because the caravanners, if that is your market, definitely use it. Now, you may recognise this lovely lady. This is Liz Ward, my business partner. So unlike me, her kids are all grown up, and her and Jared are empty nesters, and they really enjoy heading to the beach with their 2 dogs, to city destinations, and also mountain retreats. They get their inspiration from friends and family's recommendations on Facebook and Instagram. They use Google to research places and accommodation in the planning phase, and always validate selections on Google reviews. So where do Google reviews appear? Does anyone know? I should have set up a little poll, but I'll just get you to chat. Where do you think you can manage your Google reviews? Excellent. Yes, you have won Google My Business, correct. So you used to need actually 5 reviews to start getting these little stars, but I've seen it lately this week. It even manages well with 1 review. So treat Google My Business really like your TripAdvisor. You can entice people to send you a review. You can actually email them a direct link, and the information on how to get this link is a bit complex, as in Tourism Tribe. All right, keep on moving. So literally what do I have? The book stage. The aim is to entice people to move on to the next stage and to book. So at the booking stage, I'm pretty sure you all would have an online booking system. What I see is not many businesses have actually connected that booking system with a Google Analytics account. It is called Google e-commerce tracking, or at least Google Goals. But once you set up that beautiful e-commerce tracking, you are able to go back and see where these people that purchased from you came from, where they sent from your local regional website, where they sent from possibly a referral. If you're an accommodation provider, it might have been a tour business that ranked better than you on Google for that region. So it's really important to obviously understand where the booking came from and set up Google Analytics. And we'll be talking about that in the section in the one of the next webinars on analytics. Then the experience is really easy to shine. I'm sure that's where not many of you would have a really real problem at delivering a fantastic experience, but it's all about giving them the tools after to brag about it online. So this is what I've talked about with the advocate. And we can also look at this model as attract, engage, or convert, and delight. So you may see different models about how to deal with this traveler purchase model. But attract, convert, delight might be a little bit simpler with less steps for you. All right, so we're going to start looking at the dreaming stage now. So the dreaming stage is really all about inspiring people. Remember that 65% of the people that are researching online haven't actually decided where they want to travel. They follow recommendations from friends and families, and they're also heavily inspired by social media platforms. So apart from having your own Facebook page, it's really important that you subscribe to pages that your guests are likely to use. For example, in Queensland, it might be the Tourism Queensland or Visit Queensland Facebook page, and interact with these people that say, wow, this photo is amazing, where is it? Or, if someone sees a photo of the beach, you could start talking about how beautiful the beaches are down your way and how they're paddleboarding friendly and all that stuff. So don't only look at your page, but really broaden your audience and start looking at the pages that your target market is likely to use when they are at that dream stage. Obviously, the online travel agents will dominate that space, so it will be difficult to rank for that with your own business unless you have a really, really clever content strategy. And let's say if someone was searching about best place to paddleboard around Australia, if you had crafted some content on your blog about that, you're likely to get that search. But the broader the search is, the more difficult it will be to rank. So that's what I was, just telling you about. I had actually written a slide about it. So here are some tips to hit the Google G-spot. I'll take you through one of them. I explained pretty much the first one already about creating your own content. But the other thing that's quite important, we see that many businesses do not have it or do not have a fully mobile-friendly site. When you look at your Google Analytics and the source of where people are coming from, you'll see that on average, 50 to 60% of your visitors will be coming from a mobile or platform or a tablet. Now, when was the last time you actually looked at your website from your own mobile or tablet, or your own website, and put yourself in that customer, for example, Liz and Jared, and think about the stuff that they like? Are they actually being taken through the site the way you expect them to be taken through from a mobile platform? It's most likely that when you work all day on your website or in your business, you actually look at it from a desktop point of view, but the experience is very different on a mobile. So make sure you've got your phone number at the very top of every page on your mobile side. Simple, but when people are caravanning around Australia, for example, they may not want to scroll down through your website on a mobile. They just may want to talk to someone. And that Google My Business here, as I mentioned, have a really strong and positive listing on there. Create some genuinely useful content that captures the emotion that you're offering. Show videos, stories, great helpful information, and do not focus on the stories. And I know Tourism Queensland's got some fantastic resources on their site about storytelling. Start thinking a bit broader about what type of content you could be creating that would tickle the fancy of your target market. So I've got a video to show here. Let's see if that. Are you able? You're going to have to tell me if you can hear the sound. Just going to play. No sound. Oops. Let me try something. All right, hang on one sec. We'll try another way. No, I've got no luck there, unfortunately. So what I'll do is I'll send you the link. It's just a nice little music with information about the zoo, but it's just a nice way that they've done to actually display that emotional content. I'll play it again just if you want to see it. I know there's no sound, but we'll have to do. If I do unplug my earphones, it will be really really loud, I believe, and there'll be a bit of an echo. But I will send you the link, and that's the only video I was showing, so hopefully that's not going to happen again. But good idea with the earphones. Maybe I should have tried that. All right, I'll just make this big again so we can keep on going. So the next stage is really planning the travel. So they've seen all the great imagery. They're thinking, all right, I'm going to pick this destination, or I found this awesome business that wrote about paddleboarding, and that's exactly what I'm after. Let's go there. So they're really wondering if this is for them. So we've got about 57 of leisure travelers, even more, that start their that process with pretty much search. 90% of them use the internet, and 92.7 are actually highly influenced by other comments and reviews. So this is where you've got to shine. You've got to build trust through your content with a really strong positive reputation. You can write all the best content you have on your website. If you've got a few TripAdvisor reviews or Google reviews that are 3 stars and they haven't been answered, the perception that you gave people is that you do not really care about what people say about you, and you haven't actually put yourself forward with a strong customer service and answered that review. So even if you think, oh my God, how am I going to answer it? I'm not going to answer it. You're doing yourself more harm than good than answering the review. So make sure you also write that content in the language of your target market. Like, keep on thinking about when you do your initial study of your target market, maybe pin that on your wall and use the language that they're likely to use. If you're after the family market, utilize lots of words or pictures that appeal to families, obviously. Share stories or create content about how they are to have that dream holiday once they're here. Make them feel that they're at your place. Really craft some good educational content and expose your unique selling proposition. You know, what do you provide that is different? I was training a lovely business this morning, that B&B I was telling you about, and she's got that awesome bar in the shed. I've never seen anything like it. And that would be perfect to create some emotional content on how you can relax at such and such B&B without having to drive to the pub. The bar, we thought about it all, you know. This is a retreat for adults. There's a bar, really comfy chairs, all sorts of drinks that you can purchase. So build on that. Taronga Western Zoo has made it really easy for people that want to book. You know, you go to their site, you realise you can either buy tickets, stay the night, see what's on. They've really thought about exactly all the things that people may want to do to book their visit, and displayed it in a very nice manner. They've also got all information about opening hours, getting there, parking. Another thing that I see a lot on tourism websites is that there is no directions on how to get there. You know how we can integrate the Google map now? It's fantastic, but it still relies on people clicking directions to there. Whereas if you could still write from how to get to us from the north, from the south, on your page or on your, I mean, if you don't have any directions page on your website, at least on your contact page, or even make that printable, that's just a really thing that will help people see that you really care about them. Obviously where to eat. If you're not a restaurant, you can write about send people to other businesses, how to get around. Think about all these people's expectations and all the questions that they may ask you on the phone prior to booking, or even when they're there. I was at another bed and breakfast the other day and asking the people that were staying, they said, oh my God, we came here because of the awesome golf course. And I realised by looking at the site of the person I was saying, there was no mention of the golf course. So this was a really important piece of content she could have crafted, taken a few snaps of the happy people in the outdoor spa talking about the golf course, and create a good content, because there were retirees that do obviously play golf. All right. The next stage is really the booking process. You want to show them that you can be trustworthy. By doing so, you really want to remove all the barriers to booking. So this is where your accreditation, testimonials and reviews come really handy. So you may have reviews on TripAdvisor, and I'm sure all of you have, most of you have got the little TripAdvisor logo or the one displaying the reviews on your website. But have you got that in the spot where people are about to make a booking, just to reinforce that, yes, you're doing the right job? A bit like, when you buy a vacuum cleaner and the first thing you open, it tells you, congratulations, you've bought the right one. Well, you want to do that. You want to entice people to really be 100% confident that, yes, you're the one I'm going to book. So testimonials from other people. You could even do a blog article with the testimonials. Frequently asked questions. Are these on your booking screen or very close to it, or do you rely to people to actually go in the menu and find them in a sub menu somewhere? The booking process should be less than 3 steps to purchase. Your phone number and book now button should also always be at the top of every page. And what we find as well is you'll see on Tourism Tribe, we're utilising the online chat. Used to be called Zopim, but now it's called Zendesk. That is a very simple way, by adding an online chat system to your website. It's a simple way to give people another way to communicate with you. I use it a lot. I use it on our local tourism organisations, Agnes Blues and Roads, a website that we run every year. And when we're not connected to the system, people just see, please leave a message on the little booking pop-up, and you would be amazed. I think I get about I got 100 messages using the live chat, please leave a message plugin, compared to maybe 3 with our contact form. So it's clear that people prefer to use the live chat, even if the person to chat to is not online at the moment. So it's another way to get leads and remove barriers to purchase. Excellent. All right. Oops. So here is another important pricing one. You know how I was saying that because of the booking system, because of the map, people think about directions. People are able to actually find them by themselves. Well, same thing with booking systems. You might think, oh, all my prices are online, because they see them when they click check availability or book now. But what the zoo has done, they've actually just made a very simple table there that shows the prices, because people might just want to go to a price page without feeling that, they've got to go to the next step or check availability. So a very simple way would be to create a pricing page to remove these barriers again. I have a question about how do you put on the live chat in my website? Well, that is all in Tourism Tribe. There's a great article about live chat. So you'll be able to ask Wendy on the live chat of Tourism Tribe if you don't find that article, and she'll point you to it. It's free too. It's fabulous. All right, this is a good example of FAQs from Lady Musgrave Experience. So they leave from Bundy. They've preempted all the questions that people may ask. The good thing about these FAQs is they're also indexed in search engines. So if people search about anything that relates, they may find your website. What I recommend is you go even further and actually create one page, one blog post for each one of your FAQs. So it gives you more room to talk about it, and Google will like you even more because you're creating new content. And no question is a silly question. So think about all the questions you've been asked and utilize that to your advantage. This is an example of where, we've got down here the TripAdvisor logo, but these people have actually integrated the TripAdvisor review or another review onto their website. Little things, but totally worthwhile, because you're not forcing people to leave and go to another website. The last thing you want is have them on your website, click to see the reviews and book on TripAdvisor, and then you get hit with the commission. Cecilia was just asking me what are the names of the online chat. So it used to be called Zopim, Z-O-P-I-M, but I believe now it's called Zendesk. And if you go on Tourism Tribe on the bottom right, you will see Wendy, and it's actually got the brand of the chat on there. All right. Apart from the book now, we're actually moving on to the experience. So what you've got to do, you've got to enable what we call braggable moments. So not only you give excellent service, but you've got to have these great moments to allow people to brag with it. So I've got a great idea of something I haven't thought of. Hang on, I will go and take it and show you. I'll be back in a second. No, the girls must have moved it, but it's a fabulous printout of the Lark, you know, which is the pink vessel here that goes on in the water and on Seine in 1770. So what they do is they actually park the Lark on the beach, and they do it so the sun actually shines on the Lark, and they get everyone to sit at the to get out of the Lark and go and stand at the front of the Lark, and then they take photos for everyone with their smartphones. So by doing so, they've enabled a really good braggable moment, because everyone's going to want to share that photo of them in front of the Lark on Facebook. So I did have the printout somewhere, but the girls must have hidden it in their room. Make it really easy for people to contact you, and offer really good value, and also recommend other things for people to do and stay in the region. What Lady Musgrave has done on their video, they've actually put some contact details at the end. So if you actually have a video on YouTube, don't just plonk your video on YouTube, but actually also in the description, just let people know that this is your video. You'll find more information on our website, and this is our Facebook page. So everything that you do, think about how to bring people back to your website. Surprise and delight people. This is where you've got the greatest influence. Share your hashtag with them. Let them know that you'd love a review. It's not a bad thing. You know, that people understand that we are small businesses in the tourism industry, and we want to give them a great experience, and find out how you can go from good to great. So if you see that you have a lot of grey nomads caravanning with their dogs, for example, think about how could you enable them. If you have a tour that obviously doesn't take pets, how could you enable them to experience your tour? Could you offer pet mining, or at least provide that information on your website for them to make contact, that it is possible for them to experience your tour even though they have a domestic pet? Here is a great thing that happened at Witches Falls Cottages. So they're a lovely cottage business on Mount Tamborine, and they've someone has put a photo that they've checked in at Witches Falls Cottages. So when people checks in at your business, you're able to see their photo most of the time because of privacy. And you can see that they don't even have to go and talk about it online. We've got Lynette here, that must be another person that's been there. She said, oh my God, it's just so absolutely fabulous, and they've got best bathroom ever. So they're actually bragging about these people's businesses on someone else's post and helping you spread the word about how great you are. Now, how am I doing for time? Perfect. This is another example of someone that's put something on their Instagram. And they do have an absolutely amazing spark, and even brag about it too. Make it easy for other people to share your story. So that's what we've already kind of talked about a little bit. But see their feedback, good or bad, and it's sometimes hard to take bad feedback in, but as a generous gift to you. With it's a bit like a mystery shopper that sometimes has told a word about not the best experience they had with you, and it all happens. We all get bad reviews, but take that as a gift and see how you can make a change in your business. So if you do have a bad review on TripAdvisor and someone said that maybe your place was dirty and dusty, do respond and explain, like, I know Witches Falls Cottages had an issue once that someone had left them a bad review, and they had actually gone back to them and said, yes, well, we are dusty, we are living, breathing rainforest environments. And explain, take advantage of the ability to respond to this review, to expand on the issue or what is perceived as an issue, and educate your guest, your future guest, about what you're doing about it. So someone said that the cobwebs had come back, and he said, yes, it's obviously a rainforesty environment, but we do send the cleaners in every day to remove the cobwebs, but they're faster than us. What can we do? And don't forget to say thank you for leaving a review, but avoid responding to reviews by telling them the same thing. Thank you, that was great. Thank you, that was great. Try and change the response. I've also got a comment here that as well that I forgot to mention. Sorry. Make sure that you are following. How we were looking here. Sorry, I could just go back here to this one. So how people actually engaging on the businesses page. That's, at the beginning when I was saying you could do, you could follow other pages that your guests are likely to follow. So such as the RTO pages of Visit Fraser Coast and Visit Fraser Island. You are able, don't forget to go and engage there and respond to questions about that customers may have, or potential customers to the region may have. So you're turning yourself into like a mini VIC person and someone that, custodian of knowledge for your region. And if you do that, obviously from your business page, people are going to be able to say, oh, wow, these guys have really been really helpful. I should really check them out. Hopefully that makes sense. I've heard lots of businesses that have actually gained a lot of traffic to their Facebook from doing so. Keep engaging. Don't just respond to the review, to all your reviews once every 6 months, because TripAdvisor is not going to like it as well. They do look at recency of reviews, and same for Google, and how long it takes you to respond to a review. So keep engaging. Make that part of your plan. Let's say every Monday you're going to do it, or twice a week. And it doesn't have to be yourself. It could also be outsourced to someone else in the business. And don't forget about offering special offers to your followers. Make them feel a bit special. All right, the last one I want to go into, and because that's what you're going to be doing in your workshop, is really focusing on setting up a digital marketing strategy. And I'll get you to read that one. I'll read it with you too. And I've got all my chats open, so it's hard to see all the words. A marketing strategy is an essential first step when you want your business to become more digitally savvy, improve your presence online, and increase your online sales and bookings. Basically, it's your action plan for your business on how you're going to implement that digital layer on top of it. The digital marketing strategy is more so about sales, but you could have a digital strategy. Let's say how we're going to use Dropbox in the business. That is not really marketing, but it's still important to have a strategy in place to utilize the cloud. And the strategy needs to be really connected to your business strategy. So when you have your team meetings, explain to them their business goals and get them to understand the digital strategy and how it supports those goals. And then from the strategy, you'll also learn how to itemize different tactics that are required. So a tactic could be respond to TripAdvisor reviews on Thursdays. And that could be assigned to Jane, not to yourself. So the strategy will really help you prioritize the challenges of having limited time and money. And remember, you'll always be looking at your Google Analytics account, and you'll be configuring it to see what works and what doesn't. So you'll be able to configure analytics to see what campaigns have worked that you have done and what campaigns haven't worked. So you can really focus on what works instead of being gung-ho everywhere and not having access to stats to show you what has worked. You'll be able to really reinforce the fact that everyone needs to be engaged in understanding how search works. And you'll be focusing on increasing your efficiencies and effectiveness. And it's amazing that once you have a plan, it really motivates all the team to achieve these goals. So remember the framework that I was mentioning at the very beginning with the circle, the purchase travel. We could also make it more simple into attracting people to your site or to your business, engaging them, converting them, and delighting them. So if you follow this framework, it's quite easy to get everyone to understand what activity are we going to focus to attract people to our business, what activities are we going to use to engage, to convert, and to delight. So you could make different teams responsible for different activities. I've already talked about the wheel at the very beginning. And I've already mentioned how we're going to look at your goals and objectives. We'll also be setting up a SWOT, so you really understand your digital strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And the threats could be to do nothing. And we'll be working through a digital action plan. And the tool that I will recommend for that is called Trello. It's actually a living, imagine, online whiteboard where you're able to assign tasks to your different team members. So it's something to really look forward to, and it will be a plan for you to follow. And this is what it looks like. All right, so I'm getting to the end here and we'll have time for questions. The name of this was Trello, but this is what you'll be doing in the workshop at the end of the webinar, so you can just look forward to it. But it's a fantastic tool. Trello. So the takeouts, hopefully you've all got some notes on your little action plan. Really, you'll get the maximum benefits if you attend the webinar and the workshops. Don't forget to join Tourism Tribe with your code so that you can benefit from the support in implementing all these things. So I'm sure you've all taken notes. To take an example would be Google My Business and how to get more reviews. So that could be where you'd start. Read the tutorial in Tourism Tribes this week and ask questions in the forum if you're not quite sure. Then remember to start developing your strategy and action plan is really important, and really take your team through the customer online purchase journey and get some feedback from them. They might have, they might be in different roles than you. They might be a front office. They might have some other ideas or see some tools that you're not aware that your customers might be using to book travel. Maybe when they're, the front desk, they may be asking for where they're going on their journey next, and maybe looking at an app that you may have never heard of. So get everyone engaged and start to bring digital at your team meetings as well. Doing all the things that Google likes will help you put yourself in a really good position to attract your target market. And what Google likes these days, obviously we all know about keywords, but because Google's getting smarter and smarter, it actually understands how people write on their website. It can understand the context and it understands semantics, or how the words work together. So gone are the days where you need to write paragraphs with keywords that are so hard to read and not interesting. And now you can really welcome the days where you write about all these FAQs or all the questions that people ask you, and write it in a story-like manner with pictures, videos if possible, to make it really interesting, and Google will reward you for that. Understand the power of online advocacy and social media. So really participate in online communities. For example, the idea with Fraser Island, visit Fraser Island and visit Fraser Coast, become an advocate for your region and take it up on yourself to actually go and recommend your region and tell people what to do or where to go, or share quirky stories. So next steps, join Tourism Tribe. I will be sharing the link to this video recording. I will also be sending you the link to the video with no sound. And Liz will be laughing because she told me, remember when you do the video, you've got to click that button. But you know what? The button didn't pop up on my screen, so I'll blame her. And remember, ask Tourism Tribe for questions. This is where you're going to get the quickest answer. All right, so what I'll do is I'll be taking questions from the floor or from all your computers now. I have already Cecile had a question here on the Q&A about the online chat system. So I mentioned Zopim, which is now called Zendesk. Did anyone else have any other question? I wish I could hear you ask them in person, but you're going to have to type. You can use the chat, or you can use, what was the name of that again? Zen like Z-E-N, desk, D-E-S-K, Zendesk chat. No one's got any questions. It was either overwhelming or you're still taking notes. No. Come on, one person. All right. So Elisa, if I want to link relevant blog posts to our venue, will that help to pull customers to our website? So are you talking, Elisa, about your own blog posts, or are you, let me know a little bit more about what you mean. What will help pull customers to your website is if you actually start writing, all right, blogs of the region. If there's blogs about the region that people have written and you are linked in these blogs, so your venue is linked in these blogs, yes, having a link from relevant content to your website will certainly help. If you link yourself to relevant blog posts, it's called an outbound link. It probably doesn't have as much goodness for you as an inbound link. However, because Google has changed things now, it will definitely appreciate that you share information to your guests and showcase the whole region, and that will definitely help. I cannot tell you how much in the Google ranking recipe that's going to help you. What will help you most is if you start crafting content based on the things that people that will visit your venue expect to see. And let me just, Alexa, if you just, I've got the list here, but if you tell me what type of business you're from, then I will be, sorry, what your business is, I'll be able to give you probably a better example. The Vineyard. All right. So what's the Vineyard about? I'll go and, okay, excellent, restaurant accommodation. So if you think about your target market, you'll certainly want to be creating blog posts about things to do in your region based on your target market. So if you're a target market is families with kids that stay on average 2 days, then you would want to create, for example, a 2-day itinerary with children to the region. Or if you have lots of people who stay with toddlers, you could have a 2-day itinerary with toddlers. So take them to the child-friendly cafes, to activities that have got change tables. I've just got out of that stage, so I can tell you all the good things that we would be looking for. And when people will be searching for kid-friendly accommodation, they will find your blog. So, and because your blog will be linked to your website or would be on your website, that's how they'll get to you. So the fact that you're going to create that content on your website is actually going to help you tell Google, look, I've got all this content, I'm really relevant to my industry, and Google will be serving that content when people Google these keywords. Christine, hopefully Elisa, I've answered your question there. Cool. Christine, did you mention that FAQs help in SEO, and what's the name of the FAQ plugin? All right. So yes, frequently asked questions really help, because Google would have read all the websites of your industry and will be benchmarking your website against all the other ones. So it will realize that, all right, so this guy's got all this information, this one's only got 3 FAQs. Well, I'm going to rank this guy first because he's providing a better service to my clients who utilize search engines. Now, FAQs are really going to help in SEO, because basically if someone's got a question about your business, they're kind of searching for a symptom. So they may be Googling that question. The only way you're going to show up is if you've got an answer for that question. So I always advise our clients to write down all the list that people ask them on the phone or reception, you know, like if we go back to child friendly, Where's the closest child-friendly restaurant? Or which tour can I take with my kids? And you start writing all this big list down, and then you start crafting content about this. So they become like their mini online brochures about answers to all these questions. And people, the more you write, the more you signal Google, wow, you know, I'm still really active, I'm relevant, I'm investing in my online strategy, I'm investing in my um, I'm investing in you, Google, therefore it's going to reward you by sending you more traffic, hopefully. Yes, exactly. That's how I would do it. If you're using WordPress, for example, I would treat the FAQs, and that's how we do it on Tourism Tribe. The FAQ is simply a category of the blog article. So then when you create your FAQ page, you can just choose to display all the elements of the categories that are called FAQ. So instead of just having what Lady Musgraves had, which was a really good start, and they must have used a plugin, and there would be a million plugins. I wouldn't be able to tell you which one it is for WordPress or for DNN. But instead of just using a plugin, because that would just display on one page, you create one new page of content for your website with each one of the FAQ. Does that answer your question? Cool, excellent. All right, we've got time for a few more questions if anyone's keen. Oh, Yolandi, sorry, you got one. I love this one. Straight to the point. Okay. I understand it will vary with industry operators, but what digital activity have you found to have the most impact with minimal effort and time? Well, let me tell you about automation. All right, can I get a hands up? What I'll do is I'll stop this screen share, and then I can see you and I can see your hands up. Can I get a hands up of who does online marketing using a tool similar to MailChimp? So you can put your hand up in the system there. 3, 4, any better? So how many of there's 28. Only 4 of you do online marketing. All right. Well, this is my favorite tool because pretty much a system like MailChimp allows you to automatically send out content to your mailing list. So what we do on Tourism Tribe that has generated a massive increase of traffic to our website and people using our resources is we obviously write content regularly. There would be educational articles, so obviously different to yours. Ours is more about how to use live chat, stuff like that. And what we do, if we've created a MailChimp campaign, so a MailChimp email, which is recurring, that gets sent out on every Tuesday, that automatically sucks in all the content from our website and send it in a pre-formatted manner to our mailing list. Email marketing is still one of the #1 tools that will provide you with a bigger return on investment. And if you manage to actually automate that and send the content that you have written that you know is going to be informative to your business and automatically send it out to them, you only have to set it up once and then it'll automatically do it as long as you write content. So I find this is a tool that that works really well. So Pete Lynch asks how customers, if they want to receive emails on offers, and most say no. All right, so what I will say here is if you've got customers that may not want to return, if you've got one-off international travelers, maybe that email marketing strategy from B2C may not be the best. However, think about all your agents or people that will recommend you business, such as other local businesses, the Visitor Information Centre, concierge, or anyone like this. I'm just looking at the other questions. I have to stop looking and go back to Pete. These guys, their job is to recommend the region. So what you could do is instead of emailing your past customers, you could email your agents that work for you about new things. Oh, right, I've written this great article that would be of interest. So what we do with Tourism Tribe, apart from emailing a customer with the updates, which is what they pay for, so you expect that they wish to have them, we also email destination marketing organizations with that content, and they can on-share it because their job is to obviously keep tourism businesses informed about digital change. Did I answer that question, Pete? Oh, you're not going to be able to say anything except for in the chat. So let me just get my chat window back up. Where are we? Oh, cool. All right, thanks. Now, next question, Deborah. What about privacy of collecting the emails that have sent you inquiries? Well, if you really want to go get a very specific answer, is you'd have to get a lawyer. But the way I would do it to collect these emails is a simple way. Could have a form on your website where they have to tick a box that yes, they are willing to receive, you know, further information about this. So then you kind of, you know, make sure that you're doing the right thing. If people have just sent you an inquiry via email, so no form, they haven't been able to tick the box, you're obviously going to respond to them. Many people will just put them on the mailing list. So what you could do is when you respond to them, and I said, oh, by the way, Jane, I've added you to our mailing list, but if you'd like to unsubscribe, I've taken the liberty to add you to our mailing list, and that could be in your little template in your email. But if you'd like to unsubscribe, please click here. I find that people get very angry if you don't give them a chance to unsubscribe, and I'm the first one who will absolutely whinge if I get an email that is done in a manner that does not have an unsubscribe. But by law, you need to have unsubscribe buttons. Did that help, Deborah? Can't see my chat now. Let's see. Cool, awesome. All right, we've got time for one more question, if anyone would like. All right. Oh, so Nicole, I'm from Westside Water Park, which is a free entry attraction operated by local government. But there you go. Now everyone's asking a question. I've noticed that a few accommodation providers use our facility to lure potential customers. Oh, I hope none of them is listening to us. No. How would you suggest that we engage those that aren't taking advantage of having a free facility like ours within the area? Well, you know what? I'm going to let you post this question in Tourism Tribe to see what every other member may have to say about this, because you know what I'll do is I'll think about it as well, but on the spot there, I don't think I'll be able to shine too well with my answer. Those that are taking advantage of having free facilities. Yeah, so I might have to get back to you on that one via Tourism Tribe. Who has the right to customers' email address? We have one agent that won't provide the details. So is it? It's tricky, and I think everybody's situation would be different. I know that Booking.com, for example, doesn't pass the email address of the client, or they have their very own at Booking.com. However, Booking.com is a very big provider for many accommodation businesses amongst yourselves, I'm sure. So what we've implemented with a very simple very simple manual solution here is when people check in, you ask them to fill out their email address, and then you get their real email address. So I would be doing the same when people come to you and asking them what their email address is, and possibly, you know, go into the draw to win something if this is creating issues. Any other question? Otherwise, I'll try and spend an extra 2 minutes here on Nicole's question. What if they need to contact them before the tour? All right. You need to contact them before the tour, but they do not want to pass the email address. Well, then it doesn't actually work logically, does it? Yep. Maybe that's one you can actually chat to me on Tourism Tribe as well, Pete, because I'll have to really think about the business case behind that. It doesn't really make sense to me. All right, well, I will, if there's no more question, I will call this a day. And thank you very much for bearing with me as I was, you know, running my first live webinar with this new platform. So I do apologize about the sound. I hope you did find it informative, and I've given you some good ideas for your action plan. And I will be providing you with a link to the slides and the video. So thanks very much, everybody, and you have a wonderful afternoon. You're free to go. And if anyone wants to stay on, I've got a few more questions. You're very welcome. I'll hang around for 5. Bye, everyone. I'm still here, but I'll stop my video if anyone wants to chat. So feel free to ask. Oh, 2 questions. I'm having trouble asking people for reviews. It's a tricky one. Probably the best way to do it is, you know, while they experience your product, is mentioning that, you know, you may want to contact them for reviews, because it's in your genuine interest. You want to learn from them and learn what you did well and what you maybe didn't do well. So if you're having trouble because you think that you may not be getting positive ones, you may direct people to a form on your website to make it more like a not a mystery shopper form, but something where they can provide you with feedback. And then the people that have provided you with positive feedback, you can go to them and thank them again and say, would you mind leaving that review for me on TripAdvisor? Yolandi, you mentioned a new web content that would automatically transfer into an email. Yes, there is a program. So it's not really new, but it's called an RSS feed. So R for Roger, S for Sam, S for Sam. And MailChimp, all you need an account. You need an account, and then you need to create a campaign, which is called, there's 4 options. The last one, I think, is called RSS campaign. And if you get the feed, the RSS feed from your website, so you may need to Google a bit to find that information, and WordPress is very straightforward, you are able to pass the feed to MailChimp, and that's how it will suck out all this information for you. There's some really good MailChimp tutorials on how to do that. And MailChimp's got fantastic online support with live chat as well. Does it help? Cool, awesome. I'm much better with answering questions than working out the technology. Any other questions? I'm loving the questions. All right. Well, I shall turn the system off, and I'll be talking to you next time. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.